I think I became a goth when I was about 13, and the reason that I became a goth was because I lived in the western suburbs of Sydney. I didn't fit in. I knew from a young age that I didn't fit in anywhere. I was into reading Wuthering Heights, and other people were into reading Dolly. So you really had no connection with them. You couldn't sit down and say, well, I'm actually reading this really great gothic novel at the moment, and I didn't want to wear the same clothes as everyone else or listen to their music. And when I was about 13, my family were living in an apartment, and my bedroom used to look down onto the driveway. And the woman who lived in the adjoining apartment, I used to see her coming and going, obviously going to work and coming home and going out clubbing, and she just looked amazing. She wore the right clothes, she had amazing hairstyles, and I just really wanted to meet her desperately, but I didn't know how. I was only young and shy. And before I got to meet her, she would play a song called Leave in Silence by Depeche Mode. And the lyrics to it were that you couldn't handle your life anymore and you just wanted to leave. And that's how I felt. I just felt no connection with anything. And I couldn't understand, but this music was the connection. And I would actually physically lean up against the wall to hear her play this particular album.
I think the 80s, for a lot of people that were there at the time, was finding out about the different styles of music. The journey from being the 70s, growing up in the suburbs, discovering at 5th and 6th form at school, it's like there's all this other stuff out there. And they were the people I tried to actually capture in the years I was actually doing nightclubs. Come along, and come on the journey with us. And you might like Depeche Mode. Well, try this. And a lot of those people I'm actually still quite good friends with that came on that sort of journey, the musical journey of discovering that Jimmy Barnes wasn't the only thing that was played.
I think in the 80s it was a bunch of people who came together who didn't fit in, people wanting to wear black and enjoy the dark side of life. And whilst it seems depressing to the outside world, to us it wasn't necessarily like that. We enjoyed writing, and listening to music was just a huge passion. And of course there were, for me, darker sides to it, including things like being interested in sort of death and murder and that sort of thing, and crime and true crime. So for some reason it all melted together. Now, not every goth is into that, and they weren't. It may have just been the music or the fashion that they were interested in. But I think the thing that joined us all together